Hello and welcome to another edition of me fumbling my way through Fallout. I think I'm on my fourth character now, who's you've just turned up a bit early and she needs to get dressed, so excuse me a minute. There we go. Oh, still not very comfy. Let's get those armour pads off. I've been doing survival mode again, but this time I wanted to go the route that I hadn't done before, which was Minutemen and Institute. I can never not put the Minutemen first. It's really hard for me to do that. I'm not cold. So yeah, the Minutemen are telling the Institute how to run things. Who left that door open? Close it please. And who left that Brahmin there? Oh dear. Right. So I'm just going to go into the light so you can get a better view at Skyler, whose character I'm quite proud of actually. I think she's turned out really well, really close to what I've been envisaging. So, welcome to Starlight City. This is my main build and it's going to be an ongoing project for a long time. As many weapons as I can bring and scrap here to keep bringing that green bar down, to keep adding new things. So I thought, well, where's the entrance going to be? First of all, there's lots of caravans come through, so let's just make it a bit scrappy looking. Have a camp there for Bunker Hill so they can all turn up. This is like the Diamond City of the North, or it's going to be, and I'll show you why. This bit I am incredibly proud of. There's that little diner bit that was sticking out with tips and tricks that I've learned from certain people on YouTube. Little shout out to Sardeliac here, thank you dude, and all your influences too. I've managed to shove all these lovely trade stands into that section and get them manned as well. These ones with the shutters down, that guy's a ghoul there behind the weapons. He doesn't like to show his face off too much.
Just in the nick of time.
Cheers. I always do. So we've got a little drinks bar and we've got a tier 3 food and drinks bar. They both seem to sell the same thing though. I hadn't realised they were going to do that. So a cosy little seating area. So Fallon's got some competition there now with the dapper dressed lady on the end. Who nevertheless seems to put her arm through the counter, but never mind. And this bloke here with the general store, which we call shops in this country. So, in the middle you've got the pool of water, which I've put as many water purifiers as I could. And I love these raider tent things. They're very raggy and very apocalypsy. So I thought, well, if the rain falls down, they can catch a little bit more and just sort of aim it towards the pool. And in here's one of the buildings I've started working on. Very nice barber shop. Now the Institute are having a bit of influence, you see, and they've got some spare furniture stored away in all those silver boxes which you find downstairs. So that's my excuse for putting in shiny new things right next to the old crappy stuff. It's all the mix. They're just going to use whatever they get. And I love the scrappy build, and that's still got to be the sort of the root theme, but with the Institute's influence now, they get access to a lot more things, which is also my role-playing excuse basically for using Creation Club. We can't get any mods on our shared PlayStation to work. That's my reasoning for using Creation Club. I think the basic idea is good. I'm happy to have new stuff, and I tend to go on all the sales. So when I bought some credits, but every time they have a sale, they got 50% off, or things go for 0 credits, I'll jump on there and snap them up. I'm not going to give them any more money, thanks. Anyway, so this is Skyler's main home. This is where she feels most comfortable with to live. I'll tell you a little bit about her background, because I decided that she wasn't going to be the sole survivor as such, and I've actually been writing on Archive of Her Own. If you find Blue Sky Beneath, that's her story. She's basically related to the sole survivor. I don't want to kind of spoil it for you, but in this playthrough I'm imagining that the soul actually got so far and then he just dropped dead. His body couldn't handle the cryostasis, whatever. So she's taken over, and she was a farm girl, became a caravan hand, found herself coming south into the Commonwealth, and she's basically taken over his role. Somebody had to. So I started building a clinic here, and I decided that I really want to use those vault room pieces with the clinic, but I want to mix it up and mash it up a little bit, so to kind of dirty it up and make it a little bit, you know, we've dragged these bits here on the back of Brahmin for miles from Vault 88 or wherever, and we've got some sort of semi-assembled parts, but they probably haven't put them together very well. Even if they did have a whole thing, it wouldn't be sealed perfectly anyway. So I just changed my mind here when I came back and thought, yeah, these bits are very hospital-y. Let's pop these in. I build in a very ad hoc fashion. I will go out and do a mission and come back and scrap all my junk and do a little bit more. And I don't change things too often, actually. This is a little bit unusual for me, because if I build something I usually leave it after I've faffed about with it. So for this one I'm just trying to figure out how to get these things to sit together, because they normally snap. And I don't know what it is about this part of this site. There's like an invisible floor which was stopping me from sinking concrete posts and things. So you'll see me faffing about with that quite a lot. Yeah, so if there's any questions you got for me, please ask. I love to read comments, as long as you're polite, you know. And if you've got any suggestions for me as well, I'm always open to try out new suggestions. But I've done a fair bit of building now with my 5 characters. Yeah, I think my family's started telling me I'm obsessed with Fallout, but I can't deny it. It's just so much fun having this building capacity. Well, I was a model maker when I was working, and I've always loved Lego, and then I've always loved apocalypse stuff, and this just kind of brings it all together for me. I'm getting better at the shooting stuff as well, but I'm not going to embarrass myself by showing you that. It's mostly boring Vats and Gauss rifle anyway. So. Yeah, so I plan to have this not exactly walled off, but there's going to be some kind of perimeter. It's going to be at least scaffolding most of the way around. I didn't want to seal it off because the settlers sometimes want to get out of the perimeter to go and fight the fight. So there'll be gaps, but there'll be a lot of places that you can have lookout posts. I wish I could have like 40-50 settlers in this place, because then it would look right. Unfortunately, I don't think, even though I've got really high charisma, I don't think I'm going to get past what I'm on now. 22 settlers. Oh, I don't know, it might go a bit higher. That happiness bar as well, I've never got it past the 80s. I'm mystified as to how to do that, and to be honest, I don't really care about that because I'm not a trophy hunter. I just enjoy playing the game. And yeah, some of the bits and pieces from Creation Club I'm really enjoying, like these new floors. I just wish there were walls to go with them. Even if they're scrappy walls, I would like something a little bit kind of in between though, in between perfect and really dilapidated. Because that would just, it would just give me more options for building. And I'm sure lots of you out there who love building too, probably saying the same thing. So yeah, despite all these bits, I mean, we'll never stop asking for more bits, will we? Because those of us who do love building, we'll just keep on using as much as they can throw at us. Mostly. Although, it's nice when somebody has a style. Whether it's scrappy style or whether it's very eclectic style. Mine is what looks good. I don't know how to really define it. I'm not really into building big vaults underground. I do like using these vault pieces above ground. And with the way that I roleplay Skyler in my head, it's sort of, well, she's grabbing whatever she can, and she's always going to put the Commonwealth people first. So she's a true Minuteman at heart, and although the game can't let you do this, but I reason that she's not the general. That's Preston's job now. But she's like a major or something. Although she is director of the institute, which is very uncomfortable with. She's also like a Jiminy Cricket for them, so like, you know, Minuteman consciousness, conscience even. Yeah, so this is how I like to spend my time and make myself feel better when I've got a stinking cold. as I've heard before from other YouTubers. So sorry if there's any sniffles or whatever. So yeah, here I'm trying to clip things together, and just I wanted to show you my building process because it's a bit all over the shop really. I try things out, I take them away. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to build, and you won't see the finished version of this clinic in this video, but I have spent some more time, and I've decided that the front section of it is going to be the people clinic and the back section is going to be the vets. So you can bring your sick Brahmi round to the back, and you know, they're separated just about enough from the patients inside. Probably not very hygienic at all. But I thought, you know, nobody's ever built a vet before. You hear about the caravan hands where that woman in Bunker Hill whose name I've forgotten, the doctor in Bunker Hill who's a vet. You hear her reasons for being able to do both. So I should think that, you know, sometimes the vet will lend a hand with humans' issues, and other times the doctor, and maybe if they have a nurse hanging around in there, will help out with the vets, because things overlap to a degree. You've got to be multi-skilled to survive in this place. It really pays to do several things. So, floors on top of floors. Messing around with textures. I don't mind if there's little steps up somewhere. It just makes it a bit more interesting sometimes to break up that visual field of plain white tiles, which you know are not going to stay white for very long in this place. Oh, the red line. I get that so many times. And I've been a little bit frustrated recently with trying to use the rug glitch because it doesn't seem to be working quite as it used to, and I'm afraid I can't really describe to you what's not working. It just, apart from large shots in places I've tried where I've had success before, and before the latest updates I've had success. But I don't play consistently enough, I'm afraid. I'm not a very logical sort of player like that. I'm very much go where the wind takes me. So massive admiration for those of you who are methodical, and that's incredibly helpful for people who want to build, to get that structure within what you're presenting. Thank you very much for that. But I just kind of bosh it together really. So I noticed this floor's not going to go down, not happy there at all. So now I'm not quite sure what to say because I didn't want to edit this totally, I just wanted to show you what was going on. Down the other end, which you will get to see eventually, there are street lights, there's a greenhouse. Up the screen I've put like flats or condos as you might say up the screen, looking out over. So it's kind of like Diamond City's upper stands, but these guys are not going to be so uppity. I don't think. Ghouls are welcome here, you know, you play nice with everybody, and so it's going to be an in-between Diamond City and Good Neighbour really. But it's very much the Minutemen going, okay, well, we've got to kind of carve some order into this place, and yes, that well of scientists down there, they just want to focus in on their very specific projects, and they're not very interested in what's going on above ground. But what's going on above ground is essential to what happens in the Institute, and Skyler is trying to get that message through. I think it'll take her the rest of her life, to be honest. But I'm not going to play this game for that long. And what do you do when you run out of materials? You go shopping. So, hey, this guy looks a little bit like a friend of mine. Hey, Sar. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I would really appreciate comments, questions, etc. So, thanks for following. Bye.
You showed up just